Only 6,480 pounds. It's still, despite all the years we've carried the 292 BHDS Freedom Express here at Haylett RV, it still surprises me how little it weighs, because it's a big camper, but it is so towable. It's just crazy. But then again, when you have over 50 years of experience like the team at Coachmen RV, you know, you figure your way around these things. They have done just a tremendous job of this. This is a true trendsetter in the industry. Like you see the big 42 cubic foot, you know, pass-through storage here. Full-length LED lighting, built-in, you know, standard equipped picnic table comes with this. Right next to your little simple solar prep right there, if you have a little portable solar suitcase you want to hook up to this. They just do everything. If you want to see if we have one of these in stock and available, it's very simple. I leave you a link in the video description that says check for price and availability. You're one click away from seeing what we have, how we have it equipped, what we're asking, all that kind of good stuff. And we don't do hidden fees at our dealership. Now this is not a standard Freedom Express by any stretch. This is a Liberty Edition, which is a huge trim package upgrade you can put on these things right here. And what that does for you, well, it does a lot of things, but a couple key points I'm going to talk about out here is the full exterior nose cap as opposed to a 3/4 cap, and the power stabilizer system on this. Understand the difference between power stabilizing and power leveling. They are different things, but the point here is that everything in this is push button simple. Your corner jacks, your tongue jack, it's one integrated system that talks to one another to keep the RV safe and stable. You've got a push button power tongue jack to make life easy. Now when you get the Liberty Edition with the full cap, you get those handy little nose lights up here. Now they also do a tongue mounted spare tire for load equalization, and on a bunkhouse like this, that also keeps your rear bumper wide open. Now your baggage doors are slam latches on your Liberties. They've got protected hinges for rainy day weather like this, because we're approaching, at the time of this filming, freeze season here at Haylett RV. So you don't want water on the hinges that then freezes and springs the hinge. Also, nicer magnet latches here. Now you can't really see it. It's something you can really hear though. But these have a really rough textured slide wall to give you a really good seal gripping, to give you good wipe seal action and activity. That's another nice thing they do on these here. Also, all your windows open for ventilation. None of the windows, you know, are just panels, and they're all UV tinted, which keeps the RV cooler. This is not designed to be the least expensive lightweight out there. It's designed to be a very high level equipped lightweight. Like, I love the centralized hookup station right here. You got your black tank flush, separate cable and satellite hookups is a nice touch. And even this off baggage door area, because you have an extra pass-through on this that goes below the bunks, so you've actually got a second full pass-through on here. Now these, I have a full walk-on roof. It's actually an interesting hybrid roof construction I don't see done on any other trailer here at Haylett RV. Pardon if you're seeing a little black thing jump in the image. I'm trying to, you know, keep the camera protected from the weather. But back to the roof construction. They have an aluminum perimetered roof so that the roof better marries up with the sidewalls. And then they have a wood stick-built roof structure. And there's nothing wrong with it. Actually, wood-built roof structures are very strong, very insulating. And if you live in an area that gets a lot of snow like we do, it's awesome for standing up to that big snow load. Now, between the awning and the outside kitchen here, you've got all sorts of rainy day hangout space. And their recently redesigned outside kitchen's awesome. If you want to throw a TV out here, you can. You have a real sink with a real drain that goes into a tank. It doesn't just dribble out onto the ground. We've got not one, but two of the Coachmen utensil drawers here at Haylett RV on this one. That's one of the things I like about this floor plan. Also, look at how the level changed for the refrigerator, so the kids can get to their drinks. And then if there's little things like phones you don't want the kids getting to, they got that upper shelf right there. This is a high output grill. Feeds off those little propane bottles you can get at the camp store. And wind, unless it's really gusty, in which point you wouldn't be out here anyway, won't blow that flame out. Now, normally, when you get one of those Coleman grills in a Coachmen RV at Haylett's, it would be right about here. But since this already has an outside kitchen, they just said, hey, bonus drawer. And I'm looking at that because, like, I always forget bug spray, sunscreen, whatever. It would be really nice to have that stuff out here. Now this big girl rides nice actually with its wide stance stability axle system. It really tracks nicely down the road. You're not going to have problems there. Again, big SUVs, half tons, it's purpose built for your vehicle. The awning is very generous. You're not going to be short on awning space. And the full LED lighting against the lighter colored wall and the white underside of the awning, it will be plenty bright at night. We round off the exterior with awesome aluminum radius steps, which you don't see steps like this very often, but dang, they have a look. But this whole thing has a look. I call it the rolling beach house, the Malibu Ken Beach House edition Freedom Express compared to what they've done in the past. It is very light, it's very fun, it's airy, it's modern, and it's something that has already taken off very well. It's proven very popular, and it's one of the reasons I like representing Freedom Expresses here at Haylett RV. We carry lightweights from so many different brands, like, you can see a couple Passports back there, but also Jaycos and Rockwoods and Winnebagos and all kinds of other stuff. But these guys, they've always kind of held a special place in my heart because they're built bigger for taller people, but they're not heavier. More on that when we step inside. The interior decor of these continues to not disappoint, and I want to specifically draw your attention to some of the indirect accent lighting that they do here. You see how that cabinet lit up back there? Also, the dinette here, you've got some extra little accent lights around this thing, including above your entertainment center. Now, they look cool, for sure, but they're just a perfect night light. You know, even without a lot of light on in here, they can make a big difference and give you just enough to be able to see around. But then, oh boy, the whole light package kicks in, and you can see it really comes to life in here. And they've really actually designed the wood tones of this to sort of like come to life when the light hits it. Now, there's different ways you can equip different RVs. There's different decors available. We typically get a big call for darker fabrics in a bunkhouse because it tends to hold it better to kids roaming around. We will carry a couple different exceptions to that here at the dealership from time to time, but I like the hide-a-bed they have going on here. So this is a big trifold hide-a-bed sleeper sofa, but it also includes these handy little cup holders. And that seems like such a small, simple thing, but having a big hide-a-bed like that and having a place to set a drink so you don't have to constantly get up and down, that's an awesome feature. Now, the first thing I should have talked about anytime we get to a Freedom Express, I mentioned outside how they're bigger. This is 6'9" inside instead of 6.5 foot tall. That gives you a taller slide out. When the walls are taller, guys, it's more impacting to an RV than when you have a vaulted roof. A taller wall means a taller slide out. A taller wall means bigger cabinets. It means bigger bunks. It means a taller shower. So if you're 6 foot plus, this is the kind of camper you should be looking at. On top of that, this comes with a full 80-inch true queen bed. That's another thing that Freedom Expresses do. So how is this so light despite being so large? Well, the answer is a material called Azdel. Instead of wood in their sidewall lamination and under the fiberglass skin, they use a material called Azdel. It's lighter. It's a noise dampener. It is a hard moisture barrier. It's rot, mold, mildew proof. It's a superior material. So why doesn't everybody use it? Because it's not cheap. So, you know, they use it where it's most impacting because, you figure a giant laminated wall this long, it makes a huge difference. It's something that you see shared between both the Freedom Express and the Apex Ultralites by Coachmen here at Haylett RV. Now, in a Liberty Edition, which is what we're looking at currently, you get the larger 8 cubic foot fridge and freezer. You also get the nicer solid surface countertops versus a pressed resin thermofoil, which is already an upgrade from industry standard. Don't get me wrong. This is another level of upgrade. And that is a real tile backsplash, by the way, behind that. But real quick, let's take a look at this guy. This is a food grade cutting board stovetop cover. It's slotted so it doesn't bounce around in transit, but it's also, I want to draw your attention to what's behind it. A big old chunk of extra countertop space. Freedom Expresses have deeper countertops. They have extra big, extra deep countertops for prep space. That means that you have plenty of room to put like a coffee maker and whatnot back there. You have all that extra room for those appliances. Also, just like I mentioned outside, the utensil drawer. And I love these things because if you're going to go picnicking, you want to just take all your forks and spoons and knives over to your, I think it was Frank. I think that's the name that I came up with on the fly this time. You can just take everything with you along with that grill, along with your handy little cutting board, serving station, whatever. You know, they don't waste anything in these models, and you've got full storage below these extra deep countertops. That's the thing. When they're deeper, you get more storage. Now, we've got lumber core cabinetry that is all pocket screwed on the style. So cabinetry is screwed together, not stapled. And I like the very, very cute privatized like command center up here. It's away from the little fingers, the grandkids. The very sharp residential looking sprayer faucet. That has a striking appearance to it as well. So the table is free floating. If you want to, you can easily pull that out. You can ellipse that down. You can use it like a coffee table. I would say a picnic table outside, but this includes its own table. It makes for very easy access to all of the storage here at the dinette, which this is one of the easiest storing dinettes I've ever seen. This is another thing Coachmen does well. They include little sliding panels to get to the rear bench storage. And I can't believe how, like, almost, I don't know if anyone else does that. I've not seen other brands that do this. And we carry so many brands here at Haylett RV. It doesn't cost any more money. It's the same wood panel it always would. All they had to do was put a finger pole in there. Now, when we get to the Liberty Edition, both sides of your dinette feature full extension plywood box drawers. And that is just awesome. This is something that we had previously only seen in the Cherokee travel trailers here at Haylett RV. But they don't have extension glides like this, so this is even easier to manipulate. Let me slide that back closed. Now right here, a lot of people look at the fridge, they go, yeah, but there's no pantry. No, there's pantry. It's just moved over here. They kind of need to just because it has that extra big countertop. So you still have plenty of pantry space. Let's look at the bathroom. One of the things I like about this, again, extra tall shower. So if you're 6 foot plus like I am, this is a brand of camper you should really be considering because it gives you that extra headroom. Now I specifically left the lights off in here to showcase the extra light you get from a full skylight plus power vent fan. And I do like that extra little like towel hanger right there. Again, where you don't have solid surface countertops, you still have thermofoil sealed membrane counters. By the way, in the kitchen, below the solid surface sink covers, there's a recessed stone cast sink. And that's a porcelain stool here, by the way. But a stone cast sink is a heavy duty item. It can withstand up to 500 degree temperatures before it becomes compromised. It is a vastly superior material over plastic or composite sinks. The rear bunkhouse back here, I still refer to this floor plan as a quad bunkhouse because I guess in camping terms, I'm actually getting kind of old. They used to always have, 2x2 bunks for a 4 bunkhouse that we call naturally a quad bunkhouse. And then the outside kitchen boom of 2011 took place, and suddenly everything became a triple bunk with an outside kitchen. So I guess you could call this a private bunkhouse. Now in a Liberty Edition, we are going to upgrade to the nicer roller shades. And I had someone, actually it was the guy who checks in our RVs, he thought this was misbuilt. He goes, where's the valances? And I said, they don't put them in here. They haven't put valances in the bunkhouses of Freedom Expresses for a couple of years because kids kick them, bash them, dig them up, smash them up. It's just less likely for a kid's foot to catch that. And notice, every single window in here opens for airflow, lots of light in this bunk area. TV hookups on that upper shelf back there, and just stellar storage. Coachmen is one of the best I've ever seen for lots of storage. It's one of the reasons I really like them here at Haylett RV. On paper, you start boiling down a lot of the qualities. You're like, oh, I mean, I could probably accomplish this in a lot of other lightweights. You need to actually walk through their trailers. When you see all the little detailed touches, the human element involved in Freedom Express RVs, you really get a good idea. So another thing I like here is we've got twin sliding privacy doors up front and a spinning television. Now they're, again, not the only brand that's ever done that, but the point here is that it's features that not every trailer has that a lot of people want. So I do want to make sure I point those out. They also, sometime last year, updated to larger TVs because we can't go camping anymore. We have to go glamping, RVing, whatever. Electric space heating fireplace in the Liberties, which, again, we're glamping. The Liberty Edition is definitely a bit of a glamper. But whenever you're hooked up to 110 power, you like shore power, park power, that can be an electric space heater. It's not really a fireplace, it's an electric space heater. But it also just has LED lighting inside that you can use independent of the heat. And a shoe garage. I love a shoe garage. It's nice to have a place to kick your shoes off in an RV, and especially in a bunkhouse where you got a bunch of people sleeping, you want that extra ability. Moving up here, I mentioned previously, this is a True Queen. This is a 60 by 80 True Queen. But in the Liberty series, they've recently done something that I love. So they've had these for a couple years. It's a 2-element, one's blue reading light. You hold it and then you get a nice bright white spotlight. And then all of a sudden in a Liberty edition, they started doing this recessed headboard up here. And this kind of surprised me. I didn't realize initially this was happening. And I went, well, I looked on the sides and went, huh, there's no plugs, that's stupid. And then I looked under here, and it's a phone charge station with an extra headlight up here. Well, headlight? I don't know if that's a light by your head. I think you know what I mean. But an extra little spotlight visibility light up there. That is the perfect little shelf to have your phone. You can put an alarm clock up there, my little, you know, Dick Tracy watch charger. You still have your side stands with household out. I mean, all they've done here is they've taken everything up a notch. In the bunkhouse, by the way, there were even USB plugs in the bunkhouse so the kids can keep their crap charged up. Because on a garbage rainy day like today, that is when you're going to love this floor plan. Because the kids have their own room. You have this huge living room. You could sit down on bed, you could read a book, you got the big entertainment center to keep you occupied. It's just awesome. And on a sunny day, you can open those windows and get crazy airflow in here. You know, again, it's crazy how much you get here and how light this is. Give us a call. 800-256-5196. Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We only do everything. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, and everything in between. And I think that if you give us a outreach here, and I don't care where you live, I don't care if you live on the West Coast and we're in Michigan, it really doesn't matter. We park RVs in people's driveways all the time. All the time. Distance is not a disqualifier to work with Haylet RV. Have a great day, everybody.